Hello, you and happy 11th of December, and welcome back to Kosie's Christmas Coaster Calendar, where today I'll be showing you how to build this lovely little ice rink here, which you can place in your park during the Christmas season. I think it's a really lovely addition that a lot of theme parks in real life either do, or like gardens and stuff like that do that sort of stuff, and it does just add something really nice. So without further ado, let's just get on with it. So before we start right here, one thing to keep in mind is that I'm going to be doing this one right here 5 blocks wide, although you can do this as big or as small as you want. The reason why I'm doing it this size is just because that's the size I'm going for, but feel free to do whatever size you like. So to start off right here, we just want to grab our primitive cuboid, and we just want to put it in this color right here, and of course we want to use the ice color like so. Now we want to just start off by placing our center block like so, and we want to make that 5 wide like that, and then we want to add an extra 1, 2, 3 on either side like this, which means that our entire thing will be 7 long. And now you've added that in right there, we've got this lovely little ice square, I guess. But of course we want to actually make it circular at each edge right here. So what we need to do for that is just hold shift and click on there, and then hold shift and middle mouse on this piece right here, and then if we set this to 22.5 degrees, you can see we can rotate this round like so, going all the way around until we get a complete circle. And then we just need to do that on the other side like so. And then to complete this off, of course, we want to fill in this little gap right here, so we're just going to do that so like this, just place 3 in like that, and we just need to do that at the other side as well. And now we've actually got our, well, I guess icing right here. Let's add the path going all the way around the edge. So to do that, we're just going to start off with a little piece like this, and make sure that we're going straight into precision build mode, and then we just want to lower this down here by just a little bit, just so that you've got a bit of a lip. I reckon about that much there, something like that is nice. And we're just going to place that in like so, and then we can start painting this with a nice lovely grey concrete, or whatever path you're really using. If you're using a pebble path like here, or a brick path, or whatever path, it doesn't matter what path, you can just colour it this right here, and it'll fit in with the rest of your park. Of course, I'm just doing this as a bit of an example, but what we want to then do is just bring this going all the way around the edge of our ice rink right here. Of course, it will line up very nicely there, and then we'll just have some gaps in the corners, which of course we will fill in just a second. And to do so, because we've lowered this down a little bit more, we can just place it underneath like this. We don't have to faff around with getting it all perfect and stuff, because you don't really have to. Now, actually, one thing that I probably should have pointed out right here is that if, for example, you have your path like normal here, it will be at a different height. Oh, well, maybe let me place one there. Sorry, let's try again. If we place that path in like that, you can see there's going to be a height difference. So what you could also do is actually just place this outside first, and then place the ice rink at a slightly higher height, rather than a slightly like the normal height, and then having the path at a slightly lower height. I'm just going to show you like this because you may be doing this for a new area, and this is just an easier way to show it. But now we've got all of our flooring right here. We just want to add in our little like fence, I guess. I don't know, edge going around here. So what we want to do is just grab this little primitive cuboid wall, and we just want to put this on a half snapping and a quarter vertical snapping, and then we can just bring this to here and bring it down by 1. Now, of course, we want to place this in a little bit more, so we want to leave a 1 gap right there, place 3 of those in, leave a 1 gap and place another 1 in, and then we want to do the exact same for the other side right here. So just 3, 1 gap, like that. You can fill these gaps up if you really want to, obviously. If you don't want a gap right here, fill them up. If you don't want a gap here, fill it up. It doesn't matter really. It will look a little bit weird with this fencing right here, as you'll discover a little bit later, but for now, I'll show you this way, and if you'd like to do it different, then feel free to. Especially if you're building a bigger or smaller ice rink, obviously the doors will change, but I'm just showing you the basics. So finally, we just want to place 1 in right here and 1 in right here, and then to do our lovely circle, all we need to do is hold shift and click on here, and then hold shift and middle mouse on this right here, and using the exact same 22.5, we can bring this going all the way around the edge right here, which will give us that fence, and then just do the exact same thing on this other side right here, which means that we have a fence going all the way around. We obviously want to fill this in right here as well, because right now we've got this weird lip with the ice. So all we want to do is just bring this down on no snapping until it's just above that right there, so that we get that little line there, and you can place these on every single one of the entrances that you have. And now to do these poles right here, what we want to do is just go into our picker, come into here, and just search for pole. Now we're going to be using this pole right here. You can technically use primitives, but I don't know if there's a big enough primitive like this. I'm pretty sure there isn't, in fact, but we're just going to use this one right here just because it's easier, so do whatever you want, I guess. But we've got this pole right here, and we just want to place this right here as well, 1 in the middle of this right here, 1 right here, and then 1 on the other side of this doorway. This means that we'll have a nice 1.5 gap in between each pole, which I think is a good amount right here. And then what we want to do is just come around to this corner here, search for our wooden pole again right here, place that in, and then we just need to add in 1 right, hang on, my brain's buffering. Oh yes, we need to place 1 right here, just like so, and place 2 of those up like that. And then finally, we just want to add an extra pole in like so, and that will complete half the circle right here. Now, I'm not going to show you the rest of it because, of course, on this part, you just do the exact same thing. Yeah, so I'm going to do it right now, and I'll be back in a second. And then now we've got all that in right here. We've got all of our poles going all the way around, which means that we can start to get our little glass fencing right here. Now, technically, you could just bring the poles down to the bottom and not have a fence, but I'm going to add a fence just because a lot of ice rinks do have this. Although, I guess if you're going to be doing like a very small one for like a very small, you know, theme park or something like that, you could just get rid of all these top poles right here and just have this wooden fence. That's completely fine, but I'm going to be showing you how to add the glass in right here in case you do want to do it. So all we need to do is hold shift and click on there, search for glass right here, and we're just going to use this little glass panel like so, bring that up, and we're going to place these in every single thing right here. Now, of course, this is pretty easy because all you need to do is just get the glass, sorry, and bring it up by 1, going all the way around the edge right here, although it will be a bit time consuming. One little tip is that you can hold shift and click here, and then hold shift and middle mouse button here, and then you can actually just bring around the glass like so, which is obviously a lot quicker right here than actually doing them one at a time. And then you can just bring this around like here and do the exact same thing for this other side rather than having to drag it up on every single one. It's just a little bit quicker right here. But now we've got all that in, we've only got a couple of things left to do now, which is this Christmas tree and these little lights. So to place our Christmas tree in, all we need to do is just scroll all the way along until, of course, we find our Christmas tree. Now you can use this one right here, or I'm going to be using this one right here, but obviously there's this tree, and there's this tree, and even a bigger tree like this in case you're doing a massive one. But I'm not doing a massive ice rink, I'm just doing a normal size one. But we're just gonna get normal snapping on everything right here, and then we can just place this directly in the middle like so, and then I'm just gonna paint this a slightly lower yellow because I kind of like it a bit more like that. And then there we go, we've now got this in the middle. I do also recommend changing this third color to grey as well, just so it's slightly less bright, and then to actually kind of get it in a pot, because right now it's just randomly magically growing out of the ground, which I'm not sure is very realistic. What we want to do is just scroll along until we find our well right here, make sure that we're on a 1/4 vertical snapping, and we can just bring this down by 1 from the actual bottom of the tree right there. And to actually fill in that gap right here, we just want to grab this big sphere, and using no vertical snapping, we can just bring that down until it starts to hit that little black line inside the well there. And there you go. And now we can just paint that brown right here so that we get some rock, like so we get some dirt, but using the rock texture right there. And there we go. And then the very last thing that we need to do right here is just grab these little lights here. I'm going to be coloring them grey because again it'll be too bright if not, and we're just going to bring these along right here every 3, and bring those along like that, along like this, 1 2 3, and along like that. Now of course, if you're actually doing a bigger one, 3 is the only one that really fits for this, unless you do them every single one, which would be way too bright and a bit too much. 3 is the only one that properly fits this right here. But if you are doing a bigger one, then feel free to do 2. 2 is like the perfect amount right here, although obviously 2 wouldn't really work because this has got a 1 block center. But if you want to do 2, that'll look a lot better. It's up to you though, because with this sort of size right here, we can't quite do that. But now to just finally get our poles in right here, we just want to set our vertical to a 1/4, and we just want to place in a pole right here, 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 here. And then for these ones over here, we obviously need to bring it going all the way down into the ground. So don't forget to place 1 down at the bottom right there, because although you think you may not need it, remember that floor is just ever so slightly less than the actual, you know, the actual grid. Unless that you've placed your path on the normal height, then you won't have that problem. But in this case, you do need to do it like that. And there we go. We've now got all of those lights in right here, and that is it, completely finished. The cool thing about this here as well is because we've used ice as the material, you'll see that we actually kind of glide. Like when I'm walking around here, you can see it's slightly faster than it is on the normal ground because we're actually sliding around. And if I actually speed myself, if I just if I change my speed to 100, you can see a little bit more right here. Or it just not changed my speed to 100 because I'm an idiot and probably typed it wrong. But you can see here, it's a little bit more slidey and stuff, which is nice because you get the actual ice sort of thing right here, rather than it just being, you know, boring and normal like this sort of thing. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Here's all the lovely supporters on screen, all my lovely channel members and Discord server boosters. Thank you all so much to those people. They are all so very epic. You can become a member by clicking that little join button down below. It's only 99p or $1.30 a month, and you get early access to my videos, shout outs at the end of each of my videos, early access to 𝗬𝗂𝗃𝗃 𝗃𝗃 streams, sneak peeks, and so much more. So go check that out down below if that sounds interesting. But if not, then I'd love it if you left a like on the video and subscribed if you want to see more of these. I'm posting these every single day, so make sure to subscribe if you want to see more of these. But except from that, guys, I will see you all in another video. Have a great day and goodbye.